Okay, welcome to ADHD Garage, where I have too many projects to keep up with. Not enough time. Uh, so, I've been sanding like crazy on this stupid thing. And I'm finally getting to the point where I can see metal around where the head gasket seals. And that's like the most important part. This right here, it's not too bad. I'm gonna clean that off and get it to the metal, but I gotta scrape all this out. And of course, I've been sanding with gasoline and sandpaper. I'm using 60 grit. Then I'm stepping it to 80, and then 100, then 150, and then finishing with 400. But right now, this is wet sanded with gasoline and 150, and it's turning out all right. You wanna use a heavy grit like a 60 or 80, even 100. This was terribly warped. This was actually measuring almost 10 thou in some areas where it dipped down. This edge right here was way high, and I don't know if that's because the pulling of the bolts, the heat cycling, but these area right here, this one and this one, they were way high, way high. I mean, it was just like it was a dip. So I've been sanding on this for a good 4 hours in the Georgia heat here, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm kind of satisfied with it and ready to start cleaning everything up. Now, of course, I've got 50 gallons of gasoline, and I'll be flushing the block and cleaning up the pistons. I actually have grease in the bottom of here, and the grease is a good 1/4 of an inch, and then I stuck the rag in there and wet it. But yeah, this tractor I got for a pretty good price, and I really can't complain. The machine shop had to take 10 thou off the head. The head was severely warped, and yeah, I just picked that up yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And this is the original head gasket. This engine's been rebuilt before. It's got new sleeves, and you can still see the crosshatch in the cylinders, and they're not mirrored, so it's still good. But yeah, you can see where it blew out, and that's mainly due because it wasn't sealing against the block here, and it creeped, found a weak spot, blew out. It's actually a really bad spot right there, but it didn't blow through, so I'm going to get it as close as I can, and I'm not going to go way too far with this because it'll seal. It's way better than it was before. I got it to about 4 thou, and it's just these low areas right here. So yeah, I'll still be working on it, but I can usually get it within 1. And just using sandpaper in a straight edge. These are the areas right here that's like deep. So that's what I'm dealing with. This sucks, especially in this heat, but I'm getting there. And hopefully get this done, this project, and I'll be getting on to that one, which is that. This is the stroker motor build, and I got the 7 pistons in there, and I'm waiting to get the cylinder heads because I want to take a picture of where the combustion chamber is over the bore, okay, just to kind of get an idea. It's not for anything other than just documentation, whatever you want to call it, just so I know. And yeah, this is the cylinder head for the tractor. It was really bad. I got new valve springs, new keepers, retainers, valve guides, seals, freeze plugs, everything. It's got the works done to it. And then, yeah, let's go on this side. And I'll have to power wash this thing. And I got the PTO shaft out of it, and some let's just call him a person, was in here before, and they had 2 seals. So get this. So here's the original seal that was in the tractor. Okay, so this was in the housing, and I'll show you the housing over here. I got it soaking, and he went crazy with this orange sealer, this copper orange sealer stuff. And all right, so this is the original one from the factory. Here's the housing. You know, this goes in here, no big deal. Okay. Well, it was leaking. So what he decided to do, you get this? You get that? So, okay. This seal, look at that. It doesn't even, he put all that sealer over this and just kind of floated that in there. What a, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Crazy. And he wondered why it didn't seal. So, that's kind of mechanics are out there these days. It's terrible. Look at that. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, I use gasoline for cleaning stuff. It's cheap. Cheaper than brake cleaner. Works better too. So, that's that. You can sand down blocks, you can sand down heads, and they'll get them close enough to where they'll seal. Okay, it doesn't have to be machine shop flat. You know, for instance, when I started, I should have took a video before I even started this, but when I started sanding this, you could see where the machine cut it originally at the factory, and it sealed for, you know, how many, whatever, 5,000 plus hours that this thing has, and it sealed fine until they had to rebuild the engine. And I'm thinking what happened was they just cleaned up the head and reused the valves, because they are stock valves and they're kind of loose. So I'm thinking they just cleaned it up, freshened the bores, and threw it back together. And meanwhile, the head was warped. It got worse. The block got worse. And the idiot, this person put water in here instead of coolant. So, the head was pitted and ate away. So, yeah, long story short, that's what I got. But hey, I can't complain. I picked this up for a song and dance. It has new injectors in it. It has new injector pump, new starter. Comes with an extra new starter. It's got this industrial front end on it with a 4-to-1 bucket, clamshell, whatever you want to call it, grappler. There she is. I'll get it going. Oh, and it has a front pump and a rear pump on it. So, yeah. She looks horrible, but man, I think she's going to be a good tractor. All right, I got to get to sanding.